walking stuff away.
This little list here. On the groundwater situation, we had gotten some emails and things from Allison Bass, and if this goes to court, then each one of the participants they're anticipating would need to pay $7,500 legal fees. And this is for those big, it may not, but it certainly may within the next year, and so we probably need to budget that $7,500.
That's the least we can do.
Yeah.
There are going to be some changes on the ARPA. We're not going to be able to close it by the end of the year, so that one is going to have to just be revamped. But that's not going to, it's just a number.
Yeah.
And that's just road and bridge.
I think that's all that's left is just road and bridge.
That's it.
We wiped out our little, whatever we had left over. And something, when did we wipe that out?
Cameras, I think.
Yeah.
Security cameras. I think the last
Yes.
invoice for that,
Okay.
Yeah,
we had to add something to it.
Yeah.
so we can use it up. Okay. Well, the changes that I have written down are, we talked about that before, the taxes, you know, we just put a rounded amount, 9 million, like, 9 million. But whenever we did the actual rate, because I done it at 33, and we did it at .3335. So that was an additional $232,000, and I put that in the general fund as additional revenue. And if you, when you look at your road and bridge, and you'll see that there was an increase, substantial increase over what you had last year, which was 183, now it's 260. No, that's on the wrong sheet. Where's your income sheet? it's 861 this year. Because we changed those percentages to put more into road and bridge because of all the road problems and all that. On 670, which is general, added 50,000 to pay down the unfunded liability. 672.20. Down payment on financial software is 674.30. We talked about 50,000. Now, Dan, do you think we need to increase that? Do you think it's gonna be within this next year, and do you think we need to increase that?
From what I've been told, timeline-wise, I mean, we haven't even begun to do a needs assessment. What we would need from these financial software companies to even bid out. We've been given some initial numbers. I have not studied what those numbers represent,
Sure.
but I don't think that those are representative of what we will need for a down payment. Timing-wise, I mean, we would be probably pushing the tail end of the budget year in '26. But I don't see that timing. I mean, I think we're gonna be right on the cusp of that to get that kicked off at the end of next year. So, I don't know. We're not even at a place where I can give you a good number to even begin to know.
I don't know if we're gonna know a good number, really. Do you think, I mean, we're just guessing, and I couldn't imagine it would just be 50. I would think it would be more like.
And yeah, in conversations with Dane, you know, he said there's gonna be quite a bit of an expense that was not initially quoted with data extraction.
Yeah, I
And
was gonna
getting,
say, that's,
Yeah.
getting that
With
information.
the new
trans-
software is one thing, but
Correct,
retention of
Yeah.
old records is another.
yes.
Is it Houston County that's using what we're looking at?
Mhm.
Reckon we could ask them what to expect from a monetary standpoint?
I can
And
contact them.
if they saw the same expense on the data extraction?
Yeah, if they, I don't know, did they go from net data to FI?
I believe so, yes, they
Okay,
did.
yes, I can make sure that we're comparing apples to apples and make a contact with them. and see what
That's
they
just the
say.
closest ones I can think of that done that.
Okay.
And see if they did an upfront amount, or if you had to pay the total amount upfront,
Mhm.
just so we could get an idea about it.
Is FI, is that the one where it's so much for the software, and then after that, is it per user?
I'm not sure. I haven't even
I
gotten
haven't
into the
ever
weeds
seen
of
anything,
that.
I hadn't seen anything with it in the numbers.
Yeah, that's.
Maybe they can help us on that, though.
My opinion on this, I know, I mean, I'm all for it. We are not in a position at the moment to address
Yeah.
this financial software until we get some other things lined out. So,
That's why we're thinking.
So
Would it be
time-wise-
at the end of this next year, or probably into the,
yeah, that, I'm thinking that time frame, best case scenario.
we might not even need to budget anything for this next year then. Okay.
It'd
we'll
be
wait.
nice if we didn't have to, we're
I'm
running
telling
out.
you.
Yeah.
It's getting bad,
Yeah.
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 Well,
I'm
by the time you
leaning
get on the
towards-
list, you get.
Yeah.
Yeah.
actually-
Yeah, we need a break from some of it.
I'm leaning towards it's not gonna be needed in this budget.
All right, and we'll come back to that, but,
Okay.
juvenile budget, we just had a meeting and they presented their budget. And we're gonna have, it's gonna be raised from 90 to about 140. We added in 2 jailers. I think we're gonna wait on the inmate medical and the inmate housing till the very last, so we can really get a true figure on that. But we did increase that quite a bit. 575. And is it easing up just a little bit, do you think?
I
Yeah,
think so.
okay. We had
As far as
budgeted,
medical, what we doing?
we had budgeted last year, well, actually, you can't tell by looking at this because we transferred so much money into it.
Yeah.
So, but we budgeted 580, and with the latest printout, I don't think that's right. We may not have, no, I tell you what, we transferred a big amount in there.
150,000.
Hoping that it would,
Yeah.
take us to the end of the year.
But even when we paid that bill that day,
Yeah,
we were
not quite
almost
enough.
at 2%
Yeah,
left after that transfer.
yeah,
if I'm
because
not
on
mistaken.
here, we're just at 421, and I don't know what month that actually is, that 421, because it could just be through July or June. But it will, yeah, well,
But I think there's 150,000 that's not figured into that right now, was put in and spent, basically.
yeah, because that was not through that current month. Yeah. Behind on that one. So that'll have to be adjusted a little more probably. We're putting in the $750,000 payment for the fire trucks for this next year. Now, last, you remember we talked about, if you look at 670, and those last 2 lines, 2 or 3, the contingency, we had the regular contingency, then we had a special line item that we had put in 500,000 for, I can't remember right now how it was divided up. Well, there were a number of things that, big things, that non-reoccurring things is what, and we had budgeted 500,000 to do those projects. Well, and on the last line item, capital outlay, we had put $1 million. We thought we were going to be doing the, maybe some things on the courthouse at that time, but we're not. And so I think that's where we took that 150,000 out and put it in to inmate housing. We have some things this year that probably we need to budget like that are not normal things. And this payment for the fire truck, the jail wiring, which is 100,000,
2 roofs, 2 air conditioners. We were budgeting for it, but Andy and I was talking about it as far as budgeting out of that, out of receivables this year. Surplus would be better because it's a long-term expenditure, you know.
Not a normal expense. And the fire truck, even though it's gonna be several payments, that's not just a general expense that we normally have. And the 100,000 for the wiring too. Then, we also talked about in years past, we had budgeted to show some that's being spent out of surplus because we're gonna have more expenses than we have income. And so just for clearance, to be more transparent, we would put it down in that contingency coming out of surplus. And we would budget on that second page where, where's the first page? Revenues, we would show in that 370, line 93, we would have due from fund balance or surplus to show that we knew we were spending, or anybody else looked at it, would see we were spending money out of surplus for those things. That big amount of water. And then through that, balancing the revenues and the expenditures. Now, I know that our auditor gave us a little note saying that he did not like that. He didn't like to do it like that. He would rather show it the other way. But to me, it is more transparent for people to be able to see that that's actually what's happening, what's coming out. But he wrote that letter and has done that before and says that he doesn't like it like that. So, what are y'all's thoughts?
I like being transparent.
I do too.
He-
I don't understand
He
the
thinks that the
reason.
other way, it's more transparent. But to me, it's not more transparent. But that's the argument.
I think what he says is that looks like we're bringing it in as revenues because we're looking at that revenue sheet. And so I think that's where it not really being transparent, but it shows that we're expecting that revenue to come in. It's not new revenue. It's from our fund.
Maybe we can go into that data and we can make below, where it says transfers in, maybe we can change that 390,000 to say, or make something below the actual revenue. Or at the end of expenditures, maybe we can have something. On page 46, maybe we can have a total expenditures, and below that show, other expenditures, or expenditures out of fund balance. Something below that, so it would be however we want to show it. If you'll talk to them and see what they can do, if they can't. To me, if they can't, it is being shown as, maybe we can think of, maybe instead of transfers in, we could show that as transfers in from fund balance. But it still will show actual revenue. Maybe if we could get something below either one of those so it doesn't say actual revenue, we could have an actual revenue total, and then below that say from fund balance, amount from fund balance or something. I see what you're saying on that, but I still think that it needs to be shown somewhere. Otherwise, we're gonna have, show we got this many revenues, we got this many expenditures, and most people would never even look to see, how is that happening? What, you know, it would be
And he
more
said,
confusing.
he would always say, you don't have to balance the budget doesn't have to be balanced.
But it should.
Yeah, no, that just.
Well, I disagree.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah, I disagree with that. And
Jim,
That looks like we're not doing our
agree.
job.
we don't know.
That looks like we don't know what, we're not doing our job.
Well, we haven't considered the fact that, yes, we know we have more expenditures than we have revenues right now, but we're doing it from there, and that's the reason that we do have a fund balance is for when we do need these big things, we don't have to raise taxes. Well, what else would you do with fund balance? Just let it sit there forever?
It's there for emergency.
Yes.
It's there for emergency and unforeseen,
So how
not
would you?
regular
a
expenses.
year's worth of operating is supposed to be there.
Right, yeah, for emergency.
So how would you take that, how would you show that you were using that out of fund balance? If you didn't show it some
Yeah.
way like that?
I mean, you need to
I
show
think
it.
it should be balanced, you
I
know.
like the way we're doing it. And he was
And,
being unhappy.
right,
Said nice woman.
Put it in that letter.
see if we can do something like that, maybe everybody will be happy, and it'll be more transparent. Yeah, perfect. Okay, now, let's talk about,
Judge, on ours, just real quick, since you already passed, gone
I was
through.
just going down this little list, we're gonna go back from the beginning to the end.
Well, I wanted to add that since we're not getting two vehicles, I did come down on our maintenance, we're probably gonna have to go back up on that.
Okay.
Um,
About how
some,
much?
you know, I would say about 8,000 or 9,000.
Okay, add 8,000.
Cause I think I came down off of it about 15.
Is that 570? Yeah. Add 8,000. I'll look at that. Maintenance on 570. Let's see what that number is.
I think I had it set at 30 this year, on maintenance,
It
30,000.
went down 4,000, went from 34 to 30.
Yeah.
How about 5,000, and that'll get it above what we had last year? Well, we better leave it at 8. We're almost out now.
Could've sworn
We'll
that
add
was-
the 8, we'll add the 8.
I thought that was at 40 something. That's under maintenance? Sheriff's office maintenance?
That's fleet parts, repairs, and maintenance.
We don't have it
Right.
in,
Just making sure, because I could have sworn that was over 40,000 originally.
Showed 34 last year.
Yeah, and it shows in 24, you spent 47.
yeah. But that was before we started getting all these cars too.
Right.
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 Yeah.
Right. Okay, maybe that's what I was looking at.
Well, look at it again, whenever you look at it. I don't see it, but look at it.
Well, if you're seeing it and you're at 8, then we ought to be good. Yeah.
look at y'all before the last hoorah. See, just, that's all we have to do is add in your carryovers.
She give us a printout of what our estimated carryover would be.
Yeah, just right here, this one.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make some changes up there, but
Yeah, we got it. And I'll quit bringing up 25%, we don't know what it is. I'll be quiet. I want it on some heat, I want to see it.
All right, if you want to look at yours, I don't know that I really have anything different to talk about. What are we gonna do on the, we're gonna wait on the financial software to get a little more information. And so we're in that contingency that we were talking about putting in. We're gonna do the fire truck note, the 2 roofs, the 2 air conditioners, the wiring. What else? We can think about. Anything else that's not a usual outlay?
Judge, if I may, I did get a bid for a drive-through window for the tax office, building a 4x8 addition to our building, turnkey. The bid I got, I've only got the one, but $9,500. So if that's something we wanted to possibly consider budget for, just want to throw that out there. I do have a number on that.
Okay.
I'm for it.
I'm gonna put that in that same. Anything else? Sheriff, have we got everything for you?
I mean, I can ask for more.
No.
That's next.
Should never have said it that way.
No, we're good, and we appreciate what y'all are doing.
You might. Okay. We need to look at that one special fund again.
Okay,
We did last time.
Okay.
I got to be sure we got the.
okay.
Like I said, there are gonna be a few other changes, but they are within those special funds that will affect the general fund.
set aside for the 2 roofs and the 2 air conditioning units? What's that?
That's gonna be on, hold on, right, just-
I thought you were on the top of your head, I'm sorry.
I think it's gonna be 679.66.
Say that again?
679.66. It'll either be 66 or 67. Pretty sure she said 66.
For which one? For all of it?
Yeah. Fire truck, roofs, AC, office.
I wrote that down from last time, in case you want to keep it.
Okay, good. I left, my old one,
Oh, okay.
but perfect.
We did not get a grievance, so we will not have to have a grievance committee meeting, which is good, because we couldn't get any people to agree to be 3 people we were trying to get. Okay. There's one that has a grievance.
No, not me.
There was something else. Oh, yes, I want to talk about this. Now, we talked about and agreed on putting $1 million in, for purchase of land, and 500,000 in court restoration. Now, do we want to put, we could do, I think we should put $1 million in a special fund. We have Fund 85, and rather than showing it down like we're doing these others.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the year, the ones that are in the regular budget, they all go away and we have to budget again. But this $1 million that we're putting in this special fund, it'll stay in there, and hopefully then begin to add to it each year for whatever purposes we might can use it for in the future. But, you know, the other way is you could put it in the, you could change it on the balance sheet and just put it in as a designated amount for land.
I think it'd be good to keep it designated, because I wouldn't follow us one way and then somebody else get up here and use it for something it was not intended for.
Yeah.
Of course, Fund 85, those are special funds that are designated for those things. So we could put it in either one of them. So we need to think about which one we want to do. The 500,000 that we have for courthouse is probably more than what we need, because they will be turning in, let's think about that. No, we probably need that amount, at least that amount. They'll bring an invoice, we'll pay it, then we'll have to send it to state, and then they will reimburse us, so, okay.
So today, as far as changes that
I'll make
will
those
show,
changes.
once you do that, so
We still can make changes.
right, but I'm just saying, we probably changed 500,000, going back to surplus.
Yeah, yeah, with fire truck. That's new.
I wasn't even counting that, that was just on the roofs and air conditioning and the fire truck. But what I'm saying, that's not gonna change
Right.
our actual, the amount of money that we're budgeting, just to see how upside down we still.
Yeah. Well, and I
Sure.
don't, we don't have to put that in until the very last. We won't put that in for Wednesday. That way we can keep looking at where we are.
Yeah, you can put it in as long as we know the figure,
Okay.
that way we can back out of it safe. Does that make sense to y'all?
It does,
Well,
I'd rather go
yes.
ahead and.
Yeah,
that
I'd rather
means-
look at it and then we'll have us a list of figures and we
Well,
can
how much-
back out
Yeah,
yeah.
that's coming out of
How much
surplus.
more is it than 11,500,000?
Yeah, I wanna know.
Yeah.
And then we can back out the surplus. So,
if we wanna cut some back. But it will be closer to maybe seeing how much, of course, this year, you know, before, we've always had money that didn't get spent and it went back into surplus. This year,
There's a little bit in there that
Yeah.
maybe,
maybe, but, yeah. Okay, all right. And then we'll still have to have a change on what we decide on that. And then if nothing else comes up, hopefully on Wednesday, we will be pretty much set.
I won't be here, but, no.
We'll be talking about it again the next week too, on that final day. So you can get a copy of it and have an opportunity.
Okay.
But I don't think we're gonna have much change
yeah.
from that. I mean, that's why we want to come today.
Yeah.
So that we can, but now, well, Angie will be here next time, still have an opportunity to talk about that stuff too, so. All right, anything further?
What about the timeline on the roof? How are we coming?
I haven't got a report since the one the report that I called Tara to print
Yeah.
and bring in here to
Nothing
y'all.
since then. That was last Wednesday, so I got
They'll probably call me tomorrow with an update, more pictures. You're supposed to report once a week, but unless it's on my email right now. I'll probably have some. They were supposed to have been through with the roof end of this week if they stayed on schedule. And then they're still gonna be up there working, but it's a lot of the waterproofing, water sealing on the, what do you call those?
So we're not, won't be as exposed, is what you're saying.
Correct.
Just end of this week.
All right. Oh, I did get this, did each one of you get one of
Yes,
these?
yes.
Okay. From,
We're past it, aren't we?
from the district clerk, still asking, for a raise, to do a raise this year. Any discussion on that? If not, I can find my agenda. Any comments from Commissioner's Court?